Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. This is our WWE show for the week. My name is George Coles. This is my tag team partner, Chris Candido.
Hey Zip, Gary Rhodes, we're the body Donis. Get it right, bitches.
And first off, we're going to go right into it. The show Monday Night Raw, the 100,003rd episode. Still one more to go before it ties Y2J with number of moves. You just got into my frame, you son of a bitch.
Had a prettier side up anyways.
But, you know, it started off excellent. It came out with wrestling. What the fans...
I think they're watching our show.
But, yeah, and you guys seen that we complained about it last week, and it's something that we bring up if you watch our TNA shows as well, that we enjoy that TNA starts off with wrestling. You know, well, who would have thought a wrestling show that starts out with wrestling? You had...
Blew my fucking mind.
You had Punk and Show, which ended up being a spiel, and, you know... And then, which led us into later on the Punk and Cena versus Show and Bryan match.
Salt match.
So that. What did you think of the Punk doing the 5 moves of doom?
I know, right? I think they should have let him kill the 5-knuckle shuffle, but then it, you know, lets everybody see the wizard behind the curtain. You know, it kind of lets everybody see that there isn't that much to John Cena.
You know, he did, and then Cena added 2 moves.
Yeah, he tried the stupid looking knee, fucking whatever you call it, shit, and the bulldog, which was as shitty as his usual one. So, yeah, he just did some extra shitty stuff.
You know, and you know the funny thing I seen on the internet about that, if Punk would have learned those 5 moves 10 years ago, he would have been a multiple-time champion instead of wrestling in gyms.
Exactly.
And you know, it got over. Daniel Bryan is. I think he's the most over guy on the show right now.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, it's undeniable the reaction he's getting from the crowd.
The whole no chants are just as bad as the fucking yes chants.
And then, you know, they had the interesting thing at the end where Punk saves Cena and goes to, you know, after he saves him, he puts out his hand to shake it and Cena denies it. And then they cut to the cutscene in the back where he talks about where I come from. That's the ultimate sign of disrespect. Wink, wink, Ring of Honor reference.
Exactly.
Which, you know...
He never forgets where he comes from.
No.
You know?
And I think it's good for fans like me and you that he puts out stuff like that because we know where he came from. We've seen.
Exactly.
And, you know, and I like the whole disrespect angle. It was, you know... It makes sense that John Cena is disrespecting somebody. And, you know, he's not a full heel. He's explaining he's not done anything really heel.
All he said is, I hit The Rock. Hitting Dwayne, does that make me a bad guy? Did I turn my back on everybody because I hit Dwayne?
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, like disrespect, what about the AW getting fired? How do you like that?
Well,
I got my own opinion on it, if you don't mind. Alright. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. He's the only reason that tag team's ain't even going anywhere. It's the only reason that tag team's even going for the tag team titles at the next pay-per-view. And he's the only male manager. You know, he's not a diva. He's not a chick going out there on her man's side. He's actually a guy that can actually help these guys. I mean, he was actually the only thing good about these two. I mean, their wrestling is terrible. They have no teamwork ability at all whatsoever. They're just terrible. I mean, if I was to grade them like Dean Douglas, I'd give him an F. And this guy's getting fired for bullshit. He's getting fired for saying the same thing. I mean, granted, it's 8 years late.
Big Show said the same joke.
Exactly. Big Show said the same joke at the same time when it happened.
Right.
You know, I mean, Katie Vick, you know, you're looking at all these bad gimmicks, these things that were so bad and so terrible, and they weren't as bad as an old joke. The only thing bad about the joke was terrible.
Yeah, it was a terrible joke. And it's really a shame because it's the only man, like you said, it's the only manager you got. And, you know, those of you guys that are old school fans know that wrestlers like Titus O'Neil, like Darren Young,
they're your barbarian, they're your warlord, they're the guys that can't
They're never going to be the main eventers, but to put them in with a manager,
you're helping them out.
It makes them interesting, and it makes you want to buy the show.
Exactly. I mean, right now, I mean, he was the best talker on the mid-card level.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he wasn't a wrestler, he was an entertainer. He did his job, he said a fucked up, stupid joke. Yeah, I find it offensive. No, I felt it was stupid. Yes, because it was fucking 10 years too late almost.
Right.
But I mean, which I'm done talking about it. I just thought it had to be said, and then we had one of the better talkers in history was Piper was there with the Piper's Pit.
Yeah, and it was absolutely brutal. It was a train wreck.
God.
The last few times that they brought it on, and I love Piper. I'm a Piper mark. He's one of the reasons I started watching wrestling.
Exactly. It was either Hogan or Piper.
And, you know, I love Piper. I loved him. Even in his crappy WCW run, I liked him. Even when they brought him back with Shawn.
I know you. What? I know you. These fans are cheering you.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just so. Is he taking some of Lawler's pills?
And then they gummed it all up. You bring 3 guys out that are awesome talkers alone, but you clusterfuck the segment, which led to the clusterfuck match. Which it was a good match, really good.
It was
match.
a good match. I have to admit, and Jericho's looking solid. I mean, I think SummerSlam's the last we're gonna see Jericho for a while, if ever. You never know. His age, but he has Fozzie's on a tour right afterwards.
And, you know, they're doing relatively well. Fozzie's starting to pick up steam. They're making money. You know, let the guy chase his dreams. All kudos to him. The guy's he's given us a 20-year career. If he steps away now, I can't fault the guy. Even though I would miss him, just like, you know, we miss Shawn. But I can't fault the guy if he wants to chase other dreams.
No, I mean
that's why. And, you know, it was a good. And speaking of guys getting over. The thing that shocked the fuck out of me, and I don't know if it shocked you as much as it did me, but Ryback, did you see the fucking response that Ryback was getting?
He's getting a Goldberg pop, dude.
He got the Goldberg chant, but then they were
chanting a pop now. He's getting his pop.
Feed me more.
And that was even in the theme.
More.
We have a new theme now, where it actually has some singing in it a little bit, and later on in it, but you hear the Feed Me More through the whole chant, and the fans are going with it.
Yep.
I honestly think, I mean,
kudos to the kid, man.
Exactly.
It's a shit gimmick, and he's getting it over.
But isn't that the gimmick he was planning for? It was the gimmick he was wanting, wasn't it? I sure hope the Skip Sheffield wasn't.
Well, no, the gimmick he wanted was kind of as a cyborg, which is where the Ryback came from, which they're not going to do a cyborg. This ain't 1990 fucking 3.
Well, no, Cena started off as a cyborg, and now he's a multiple-time world champion.
Well, that wasn't in WWE, though.
Well, yeah, it was in OVW.
Yeah, he was a prototype. The
prototype of a fucking retard. Sorry. So no offense, I just, you know, I'm not a Cena fan. If I could say something bad about him, I would.
Now speaking of entrances, that brings us to our question of the week last week, which was who had the best entrance of all time, either single performance or as a constant entrance. Now, we got a couple responses. The first one was from our friend Lou over at the Deadly Sins. They're actually both from guys at the Deadly Sins. Lou said, I would say rated RKO's, it mixed well together. That or RVD's, his was awesome too. Or Angle when the crowd would chant you some. All great entrances. I'm assuming he's talking about RVD and ECW with the Pantera music. Okay. When he had a Walk by Pantera as his theme song. But it was awesome, and Angle is classic. I do think out of the mixed match tag teams, the rated RKO blended theme was probably the best one, with a close second being the Jarrah Show.
I will say Jarrah Show to me always kind of stuck out.
Right, but I do like what they did with the rated RKO, and the team itself was awesome.
Oh yeah, and then I even think Jericho and Edge were really good mixed together. But
right. And then we have the from Paul, also from the Deadly Sins. Ray was eating Twinkies with me. That's an inside part of a joke. We were talking about how Ray got fat. I love the entrances that the Dudley Boys used to have in ECW. The crowd would be behind them, and they would get huge pops. Then Bubba gets on the mic and can turn anyone against him at the drop of a hat. Absolutely agree. One of my favorite tag teams ever. If you watch these shows, I probably mention the Dudley Boys on every single one. Honorable mentions go to Sandman ECW, Ultimate Warrior in the WWF, and D-Generation X, which are all outstanding entrances, which leads to my entrance is actually one he picked. I believe the original ECW Sandman entrance with Enter Sandman coming through the crowd, the entrance was more important than the wrestler, basically. I mean, the entrance is what sold him. It made him a 4-time ECW champion. And, he's playing Enter Sandman, the whole crowd singing with him. He's bashing beers off his head. He's piss fucking drunk by the time he gets to the ring, bleeding, smoking. It was amazing. If to be there in person, which I was several times, it was kind of like The Undertaker's entrance. It's something special that you don't see.
Yeah.
What do you think what do you think was?
I'm not a fan of him. I mean, I respect him as the Taker, but I liked WrestleMania 19 with Limp Bizkit. I thought it was really cool how they had the band and the bikes coming out and everything. I just really thought it was a pretty cool entrance. I mean, the Shawn coming at 12 was also good too. I mean, I'm a Shawn mark. I was going against the grain.
Yeah. What do you think the best one was? Do you think it was the Taker?
Actually, my favorite, and people kept giving me shit about it, was Triple H coming out as Conan.
No, that was great.
I thought it was awesome. A lot of people are like, oh, that looks so fucking stupid.
Well, Triple H has had some really good ones. He's had the Motorhead entrance. He did Motorhead twice, right?
Yeah.
When they did the first
Breaking
theme
up from the stage.
Well, they did the first theme song for him, and then they switched it to the My Time.
All right, my favorite entrance, I'll give it, was the Rey Mysterio coming out with the fucking voodoo fucking helmet on and shit like that. It was just so fucking awesome. And I'm kidding. There's nothing awesome about Rey Mysterio. He's 10 years out of his prime. And he likes Twinkies. Apparently.
And he loves Twinkies. Ask Paul. Paul, keep him away from your Twinkies and your hot dogs now, I guess.
Two long orbital objects that Ray shouldn't be around.
Kind of weird that Ray likes phallical symbol foods.
Exactly. Soft and squishy and full of cream.
And he was smoking joints too, which is kind of a phallical drug. I mean,
exactly.
It's not like he was shooting heroin.
He was out because Del Rio hurt him, storyline wise.
Right.
What the fuck ever.
Yeah, Del Rio hurt him.
Piss test.
Del Rio hurt him. He took his last bag. But anyway, and that leads to our next question of the week, and this is something I'm sorry I forgot to say this. I meant to say it at the beginning of the show, but it reminded me. Our next question of the week was actually a video. It's something we're stealing from a video that the Masked Tweeter put up on his page about who should break the Undertaker streak. I love the question so much. I answered it on his, but I want to bring it in on our show too. Who do you think should end the streak? Let us know. Put it in the comments. Also, from our friend Masked Tweeter X is the one that came up with it. At Masked Tweeter X on Facebook, and he also has a YouTube channel. And also, other than the question, if you guys noticed in the beginning of the show, we have a new entrance, and that is from our friend the Masked Tweeter. He was kind enough to do that for us. We appreciate it greatly because our entrance basically fucking sucked.
Low budget, baby. You gotta love it.
We're doing the best. We're trying to do the best we can. As you've seen, some of our episodes haven't looked so fucking great.
We're coming from the bingo hall.
if you seen the house that this was taped in and the little fucking shitty room we're doing this in, you'd be astonished by what we make it look like.
Everything looks great when it's on fucking film.
Right, but thank you again, Masked Tweeter, at Masked Tweeter X on Twitter. He has a YouTube channel, The Masked Tweeter. I'll put the links down in our comments if you want to check out his stuff. He's got some great stuff, some really funny shit on there.
I enjoy it. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, if you like our show, you'll like his shit. Trust me, we love it. We think he's fucking funny as shit. And then back onto the show. And then the question of the week again: who do you think should take Undertaker's streak? Just let us know in the comments. Hit us up on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever you want to put it. We'll take your opinion, just like I did this week with Paul and Lou's opinion. We'll read it off.
We're saying Mikey Whipwreck or anything like that. Let's make it. Come on,
Mikey Whipwreck.
Well, I don't want an underdog story. I want somebody that you think that can actually carry it on.
If it wasn't for Mikey Whipwreck, there'd be no Zack Ryder.
That's saying a lot.
Or Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, let's
or
get
the
back.
SATs. Or Amazing Red. He trained all them guys.
Good. Good for them. I like Amazing Red.
What about the SATs? Kurt Hawkins.
Okay, next show.
Oh, yeah, back onto the show.
I just like fucking old people. It's funny.
Back on the show, we had the ending of the night, the contract signing, which came on at a weird time if you were watching it. there was still about 25, 30 minutes left in the show, and
So you knew something was going to fucking happen.
yeah, so you knew.
And the thing that bugged me, I don't want to interrupt you, but the thing that bugged me was how Shawn was cowering around the fucking whole, show. What,
That's the main eventer.
It's the icon.
WrestleMania.
It's a showstopper.
He wasn't afraid of fucking Undertaker. Why should he be afraid of Brock?
Exactly.
In the world of wrestling, I don't care how badass they are in real life. In the world of wrestling, there's no one more badass than the Undertaker, except for maybe Andre.
Yeah.
But he was cowering around like a pussy when fucking Brock was around.
And I just kind of like, you're shitting on your fucking career. I know you're trying to help Trips out, but
Yeah.
don't shit on yourself to help the next guy.
And
Don't be. I hate to say because I like the guy. Don't be Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Don't fuck your lineage up because Shawn, you don't need the money. I understand Shawn loves the business and all that stuff.
Well, Propitia's expensive.
He sure the fuck needs it too. Holy
Wow.
shit. He's rocking around the Arn Anderson fucking horseshoe up in his bitch.
Give it up, Shawn. Either wear the Bret Michaels.
At least
fucking
Edge gave
headband.
it up, and Edge still had hair. Edge's like, fuck it, I ain't got to wrestle no more.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with short hair, Shawn. You should try it.
Give it a try.
It's better than that shit you got there. Sunny day, Shawn.
Anyway.
But
Have Whisper cut it up for you.
and the thing I hated the most is when, after the whole fucking contract signing and he gets jumped by Brock. Because the contract signing was boring and we're not going to spend a lot of time talking. It was just the centerpiece of all the stuff that happened after.
Although, fucking Paul Heyman could sell.
Oh, God.
Dude, he could sell running shoes to an amputee. The guy's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
When he came out the ring, when he came out on the ramp, they should have just made it of water because he could walk right on top of it.
There you go. But when I love the part when fucking Brock grabs Shawn out of the car and said, I told you I'm going to get you. And they just fucking pulls him right out of that car. And then the shittiest thing happens, they fucking go to black.
Yeah, well,
I know it's PG, but
it's so they didn't really have to toss Shawn on the car.
Well, I understand.
He didn't have to sell. The guy has a terrible back, so. And
I know.
You know what's funny? That made me think of something off the subject totally. But two of the baddest dudes that ever been alive, Mike Tyson and Brock Lesnar, if you talk to them on the phone, you'd be like, "Fuck you, you fucking pussy."
What are you talking about?
Dude, Brock Lesnar could not sound less menacing if you fucking paid him to. However, the dude is fucking a legitimate badass who would probably.
I don't want to fuck with him.
He'd probably destroy me and Gary both at the same
He would.
time.
And I'm fucking 275 pounds. And
I'm over 300.
Toss me around like a little fucking kid.
Yeah, the dude's a badass. Like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson sounded like a fucking little kid, but dude, I would never ever say that to Mike's face because Mike would destroy me. He'd hit me once and my brain would turn to powder.
Then Jake Roberts would come and sniff it up.
Mike would too.
Don't we get some of that coke, George?
We get some of that brain cocaine.
Delicious. But then the whole put him in the arm bar and all that stuff there. I'm gonna break his arm. Just break it.
Don't go no further, Triple.
Don't go no further. Paul and Brock work so well together. Where Paul brought his ECW philosophies to Brock.
Yeah.
He covered everything bad that Brock has. The only thing bad that Brock has is his talking ability. So what's he do? He cuts Brock's promos. Just gives him a few little catchphrases. You tell him, Hawk. Just kind of stuff like that.
Right.
You tell him, Hawk.
But, and that reminds me, and Paul, I'm the biggest Paul Heyman mark there is in the world, and he sold it like $1 million. What do you think about our heel of the week being Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman as a combination?
Yeah, because
Brock for destroying Shawn and Paul for making us want to buy SummerSlam.
Paul, I will say this right now, is the second best talker in history. Right behind Bobby.
Well, as far as managers.
Oh, yeah.
Right. There have been some really good wrestlers.
Oh, yeah, there are some really good ones that have talked.
Dwayne's a good talker.
Dwayne is. Good ass kisser, too, I've heard.
That's what I hear, too. Dwayne's a good talker. Phil's a good talker.
Phil's an excellent talker. Well, he's a Heyman guy.
Steve's a good talker.
He's a Heyman guy. So is Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, he's a Heyman guy.
Yeah, but Brock Lesnar doesn't have a real name that I could shoot on right now.
I know.
Fuck you, Brock. Use a fake
Why is
name.
your real name? What was his name in OVW?
It was Brock Lesnar.
I couldn't remember.
I think he's too dumb to fucking.
Hey, I want you to tell me he's dumb. Tell him on camera. Say, hey.
Brock, you're a dumb son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna fuck you up.
Bring it.
I'm gonna rape you with my pinky toe.
Bring your 5 double extra large fucking gloves.
I'm gonna rape you with my pinky toe, George. You ain't gonna know what the fuck happened. That's kind of like that's my Michael Jackson. But anyways, we're getting off fucking.
Hit me one time, Brock. Let me be a millionaire. I'm good with that.
Just sign a contract, dumbass. I think that's a great heel of the week, though. I mean, really, because you take the physical attributes that Paul doesn't have, and you take the fucking mental attributes that Brock doesn't have, and you put it together, and you make a bad motherfucker.
Exactly.
That's your pie mix.
And you know,
roll it up and then pour it in there.
And
shake and bake.
And you know, we're getting a little long here,
Yeah,
but all in together, this is 100 times better show than it was last week.
God.
Kudos to the WWE. After last week, I had no faith in this show being any fucking good. Great leading show into SummerSlam.
My final thoughts is TNA, you better step your game up because Vince has fucking gotten off being lazy, I think. Well, I'm not saying that too soon though, because this is a show before pay-per-view.
But yeah, but
we're running long.
We're running long, so let's wrap this up. Again, thank you again to the Mass Tweeter. We'll make sure we put all kinds of links for you on all our shit. Make sure everybody goes checks him out. This has been Heel Heat, our WWE show for the week. I'm George Coles.
I'm Skip Sheffield. Gary Rhodes.
We'll see you guys on our TNA show.